You don't need after-time drinking, you don't really need anything. You just want a nice pub with good staff and treat the customers, recognise people. I think that's what it's all about.
Every year, thousands come to watch the battle between Oxford and Cambridge at the University boat race on the Thames at Putney. And every year, Norman Golding, landlord of the Duke's Head pub, is ready and waiting for them. But this year, things are different.
I'm quite sad this month because I've been here 28 years and it's going to be my last boat race because I'm retiring on April the 6th. Some ways I want to go, and other ways it feels like my baby being there, and I feel very low especially when I'm sitting in the lounge bar and looking out on the river. It's very tranquil and it calms me down, and I think I'm going to miss it terribly.
Huge advantage for people on the 6th. So because they're on Surrey, they will be racing their socks off in the first half of this race.
I was a professional footballer. I played for Queen's Park Rangers for 10 years, and when I came out the army, I went to Rangers. Then I had a friend of mine who took a pub because I come from South London. He took a pub in Bermondsey and he asked me to go and help him. And I started helping him, and I got quite a buzz for it. So I finished the football because I had a bad injury, and I applied. And the first pub I got offered to go and see was the Dog and Ball in Croydon, and I went down and saw it and had an interview. And we went down and met the chairman, and that's how we basically started with Youngs.
John Young is chairman of Youngs Brewery.
They like beer, you know. Did you know that?
He's a character, and he's an amazing man for his age.
If I had a pint of mild ale, they'd lap that up. Yes.
He's always gone all around the pubs. And other people who work for other publicans I've met said, you said the chairman. We don't even know who our chairman is, And he used to come around regularly, all the small pubs, and all the licensees. He knows them all by name, sends you all Christmas cards, and signed. And in the old days, you always used to, if you had any problem, you could go to him.
People are my passion, but I will tell you that I must be the only chairman probably who has no office and no desk, because my office and my desk are out round the pubs. I get out as soon as I possibly can. I look at my mail in various rooms that I borrow when I first come in the morning, but I've long since given up my office, and I get out and round the pubs. I'm 82, and I go to work every day. My grandmother lived, she was 111, so they're pretty scary here to think they've got me for another 30 years, possibly. What about that? People are extremely important, particularly in our business, but it is they, that's the key to success. It's the licensee and his staff who make the pub. You can forget the furniture and the carpets and the curtains. It's always time people, people, people. That is the great secret.
The people that come here, we get a cross-section back. We get actors, solicitors, barristers, rugby players. Get a very cross-section. They all seem to gel in together.
The pub sign is of James, Duke of York, who in 1685 became James II of England. Knowing of his passion for hunting, the pub sign artists have incorporated a stag into his hair. This Duke of York had strong associations with the river. As Lord High Admiral, he played an important part in the wars against the Dutch, who actually sailed up the Thames into the Medway. As a Catholic, King James II was forced to flee to exile in France in 1688, but as he left, he threw the royal Great Seal into the river, where it was later recovered. In 1831, the Duke's Head was just a tea room, but then it was taken over by the brewers Young and Bainbridge, who made it into a popular riverside pub. It became even more popular when, in 1845, the University boat race was moved from Henley to Putney. Then, at the end of the 19th century, it was completely rebuilt and now has many solid Victorian features, something Norman Golding is very proud of.
The glass behind the bar is all original, and I don't think it could ever be replaced. I don't think there's a craftsman out who can do the same job today. We had one panel broken on one of the doors, and the glazier came down, and he was nearly in tears. He said it was about over 100 years old, the glass, and he was very upset by it, which is unfortunate, but over the distance of time we've been very lucky in the glassware. And it's a really nice feature of the pub.
This Victorian legacy is important for the brewery too, and for 400 years they've used dray horses to deliver ale to the local pubs. In Victorian times, there were over 300,000 horses in London, used for transporting goods around the capital. Young's horse book has faithfully recorded all the horses they've ever had passing through their stables. But at a time when everything's being modernised, why do they still use them?
Well, they're very important. First of all, they're important because they still go to work. And we deliver to local pubs, and each pair of horses, when they go out of the brewery, they take with them 3 tons of beer to deliver to the local pubs round and about. So that's the first importance. And on top of that, we do a community service, you like to call it that, in practically every Saturday and Sunday throughout the year. We take our horses to schools, fairs, village fairs, church fairs, and most of the occasions there are children there, and we're able to give them rides either around the paddock or around the streets. But lastly, perhaps as important, is that having animals about the place, there aren't only the horses down here, there's our living mascot, Ramrod, and there are 2 donkeys named after my 2 secretaries, Brenda and Glynis. I don't know how much they appreciated that, but still. He's a Dorset Horn, and he's one of the oldest breeds. He goes back actually 100 years. Mm-hmm. That's right why we've got him. Wait, come on. Oh. Yes, really.
The Duke's Head is a tenanted pub, and Norman is quite clear how it should be run.
Well, I think that you've got to have good staff. You really got to have good staff. And you've got to serve good beer and treat the customers, recognise people. I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's excellent.
And treat people as you want to be treated yourself.
This one is nearly full.
I usually start at the beginning and go down all the line.
Ken Don is Young's head brewer. He and his team have won many international awards.
We, particularly at Youngs, have spent a lot of money in ensuring that the beer is cooled right up to the tap. And so you don't have to wait for the warm one to come out of the tap as you used to do when pubs first opened. A good publican can take an average beer and condition it up and make it really good. A bad publican can ruin a perfectly good beer in 2 or 3 days.
Most Young's pubs are traditional pubs, and those that aren't are turning back to becoming traditional. And we are finding even the young prefer to go to traditional pubs, where instead of going to a high street pub where they talk to robots, they can come actually into a pub and talk to real people.
I don't believe in going back to places. I never look backward. And I don't think it's fair on the person who's taking over from you. And when I walk out of here on Tuesday, it'll be the last time I ever come here, It's an end of an era, start a new life. And I'm going to do quite a few places I haven't seen, and I want to go and see it again.
Hello, Norman. Cheers to you.